But these are not the measures of success for Mr. May. His measures of success are not accolades, are not awards that you hang on the wall. I'm sure he's plenty happy that he got them. I'm very proud of those. But his measures of success were teaching our airmen. Not just the job, but a method of thinking, a way of thinking beyond their capability, beyond what they thought their limit was. Mentoring for the future, mentoring our future generation, their leadership style, investing in them, investing in the airmen, and getting them to invest in themselves, either emotionally, mentally, financially, and getting them to understand what it is to be a leader. He made the mission happen. He ensured the airmen knew why they were there, what they were doing, and how they fit into the mission. He also, at the same time, by doing that, made sure that the aircraft are there for the pilots. That's why we're here in the Air Force, and we never forgot that. Probably his number one measure of success, though, is receiving those phone calls. The ones that happen 2, 5, and 10 years down the road when somebody calls back, maybe they have that aha moment, and they realize that, okay, the things that you taught me, the things that you did for me, the time you spent with me is what has made me the NCO that I am today, the senior NCO that I am today, or the civilian technician that I am today. One of the stories that he told me, and it didn't shock me when I heard it, he said it was about a couple of years ago, he got a phone call from a then Chief Select Bartlett. He said that the reason that he made chief was because of the things that Mr. May had done. And the reason I bring this story up is I worked with Senior Master Sergeant Bartlett at the time at Kadena, and immediately, as soon as he said that story, when he told me about it, I'm like, holy crap, these two guys are the same. Kadena was a very difficult place for pretty much everybody that went through that base. I was an AMXS Maintenance Operations Officer. Senior Master Sergeant Bartlett was the lead post super on MXS. A lot of headbutting, a lot of blaming, a lot of pointing fingers happened between those two squadrons. He was the one guy that I could go to anytime, every time. And we would sit down, we would figure out what we had to do to work through the process, make sure our airmen were taken care of, and make sure the mission was taken care of. It wasn't even remotely a shock to me when he told me that Chief Bartlett had called me and said, thank you for making me the chief that I am today. It clicked for me immediately. And as you can see, I got kind of emotional about it just because of the fact that it was an intense 3 years, and the two of them are literally married at the hip in terms of leadership style, their capability to see through the BS and make things happen the way it needs to happen. And then finally is learning from his fellow airmen, taking the good and bad, and seeing how attitude impacts an entire organization. He knew from the beginning that if my attitude is good, if I'm looking forward, and I'm doing the best I possibly can, everybody else is going to follow suit. Likewise, he understood that if my attitude wasn't good, I was depressed about everything, and everything was woe was me, then my airmen are going to take on the exact same attitude. We're not going to get anywhere. If you're able to make all of these things meld, all the things that I talked about and all the things that he measures his success by, you're going to have a successful team. And that is exactly what Mr. May did. He put together some of the most successful teams in the Air Force, and today we're still getting accolades from the things that he set up and the things that he's going to leave behind, and the airmen that are going to PCS from here run their own shops and become civilian technicians someday as well. Mr. May, it truly is amazing what you've accomplished in your 15-year civilian career. I know your shop, fabrication flight, 3rd MXS, and the Air Force are going to miss you, our family. I'm sure you will enjoy your retirement as you conquer the over 6,000 miles of waterways encompassing the Great Loop. I encourage you, after the ceremony is over with, that you ask him what the Great Loop is and how he plans to accomplish that. It truly has been an honor to serve with you and to know some of the many airmen that you've mentored. I wish you and Cindy all the best in your retirement.
Thank you, sir. Couldn't have said it better myself, especially the microwave thing. Drives me crazy. It's kind of fun. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the Outstanding Civilian Career Service Award. Department of the Air Force presents the Outstanding Civilian Career Service Award to Stephen J. Mate in recognition of his distinguished performance in support of the United States Air Force from 2 April 2001 to 24 June 2016. Most notably as Aircraft Metals Technology Foreman, 3rd Maintenance Squadron, 3rd Maintenance Group, 3rd Wing, Joint Base Elmendorf, Richardson, Alaska. Mr. Mate's superior leadership was instrumental in the manufacture of 438 F-22, C-17, and E-3 aircraft components and completion of 22,600 maintenance actions, saving the 3rd Wing $8.8 million in replacement parts. Furthermore, as Advanced Technology and Repair Program Chairman, he researched and procured state-of-the-art manufacturing equipment that resulted in a Department of Defense best practice and earned the Air Force Productivity Enhancement Award. Finally, due to his superb performance, he was recognized as a 4-time annual award winner, clinching the Pacific Air Force's Leo Marquez Maintenance Award. The distinctive accomplishments of Mr. Mate culminate a long and distinguished career with the United States government and reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated for the remaining presentations. Major Smith will now present Mr. Mate with a certificate of service from the 3rd Wing Commander, Colonel Christopher Nehemiah. The certificate reads as follows. This is to recognize Mr. Stephen J. Mate for 15 years of faithful and devoted federal civilian service on the occasion of retirement from employment with the United States Air Force, given this 24th day of June 2016, signed Colonel Christopher J. Nehemiah, 3rd Wing Commander. At this time, we would like to present Mrs. Mate with the certificate of recognition. Mrs. Mate, would you please join your husband on stage? She told us she has a speech ready. The letter reads, in grateful appreciation, the United States Air Force presents this certificate of recognition to Mrs. Cynthia L. Mate for the commitment and numerous contributions that made positive impacts to the nation's defense. Thank you for your support, which gave great strength and purpose to your spouse's service. Given on this 24th day of June 2016, signed Colonel Christopher J. Nehemiah, 3rd Wing Commander. As with active duty, every civil service retiree receives a special retirement pin as a memento of their service. At this time, I'd like to ask Mrs. Mate to place this pin on her husband to symbolize his transition into retirement again. Thank you, Mrs. Mate. No speech. At this time, I would like to ask Mr. Ransom to come forward to present Mr. Mate with a gift on behalf of the 3rd Maintenance Group.
Well, I'm one of the few, Tony, where are you? I'm one of the few who's been around here a long time. Since I've been here since 95. Steve, if you guys saw me when I started, I could talk hours about it. Everything about from the stories about boots, get somebody to wear boots, to building wheel, to all the stuff that the professionals come to do. Make Smith alluded to. I don't know if you know or not, the Rand Corporation is a big deal. And when the head of the team specifically talks about this guy in the Air Force and Raptors and what they did for the Raptors, what he personally did, has far-reaching effects that all of us will never see. We don't see them every day. But what he does